the Too Many Hats podcast with your hosts with the most, Tony and Lavelle. Every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock Dead. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. Too Many Hats podcast.
What it do, my good people? Happy Wednesday. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, man. It's your host with the most, Tony Mays, Lavelle Salter. What it do, my guy?
You got it, man.
No, I ain't got it, man.
Y'all still accident free?
We just had a conversation about this earlier.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna act.
We are accident free.
Come on, man. Praise
Yeah,
God.
we had another amazing day today.
Come on, man.
You better.
I wish I had my ho.
You pretty. Yeah, we had another good day today, though, man. No accidents. No back. Well, sure did fall. I take that back. She did fall. But it was like, you know how you sit. So we went to the incense farm, where they make the incense and stuff at, and so they had this really beautiful garden that they made out of incense. It's all colorful, all different colors, and so they had us taking pictures in the middle of the garden. And Cheryl decided she gonna sit down and squat on the pedestal and do all the fancy poses, and couldn't get her ass back up. Good morning, though. Yeah, she hit that floor. That dude rushed over there with the camera in his hand trying to pick her butt up. Yeah. So yeah, it was not cute, to say the least.
Send out my love.
Send her your love.
I would quit playing pen.
She said, "Go to hell, Lavelle."
How she up?
Yeah,
I love it.
they up. They in the bed, but they up.
Oh wow!
All right, man. Let's jump on into this thing, man. What are the biggest secrets people keep in relationships? What are the biggest secrets?
You ain't got no shots out while you over there.
I did have a shout out, but I didn't get a chance to send it to you. I can still shout it out. Well, you know what? Let me see something right quick. Let me see if I can send it to you, because I do have a shout out. See if you can post it. It's actually a couple of them. And one is really not really a shout out, so to speak, but it's more of a commemoration of a picture, commemorative picture. And then the other one is a shout out. I just got a thumb through 699,532 pictures.
What the hell?
That's been taken in 2 days.
Damn.
I just sent them to you, Lavelle.
Okay.
You can post them right quick.
Yeah, I think I had that already, but I think, did I delete it? I don't know. I'm just gonna forward it to myself.
Well, so while he's downloading that, I want you guys to think about what are the biggest secrets that people keep in relationships. Ooh.
What she say?
They got a baby on the way.
Gee whiz. She went for the juggler.
I mean, right off the rip, huh?
Right.
But people tend to kind of keep secrets in relationships not because they really want to hurt their partner, but because they're afraid or conflict, loss of judgment, or truly being seen for who they are. The most common big secrets usually fall into a few categories. Of course, the first one, uh, which Sure kind of alluded to with having a baby, is the infidelity or the emotional or physical aspects of infidelity. And so, when you think about that, that's generally the first thing people think about is that they've been cheating, so they kind of keeping it a secret that they've been cheating. And hell, I guess if you've had a baby out of it, you know, thinking about Sharon Moore again, it that kind of puts us in the mind because he got the staffer pregnant and decided that he didn't want to have no baby since he already had 3 with his wife.
Mm.
So that was a huge secret. I don't even necessarily think his was a secret because what I was told this morning was that most of the people that was around them knew that they were messing off.
Mm.
So it wasn't a big secret as maybe everybody thought, or
Right.
so.
Yeah. Separate bank account.
Yep. Yeah. So let me shout out these brothers first. They are some Q dogs that let me get to it because I can't read it on the screen because it's too little for me.
Mhm.
But I want to shout out these brothers because they're doing a tremendous work. And so I want to shout them out. So this is a group of Omega Sci-Fi brothers from Georgia who rescued a driver whose car flipped and caught on fire on the I-10 while returning from their fraternity's 81st Grand Conclave in New Orleans. They acted without hesitation, pulling the man to safety just before the vehicle was engulfed in flames. Their bravery turned into a routine road trip into a heroic act of brotherhood. So these 4 fraternity brothers from Georgia rescued the driver. Man, and the car was on fire. I might have been like trying to spit on it or something. Nah, I probably would have tried to help too, though.
Yeah.
So shout out to them brothers, man, for turning a road trip into a heroic act, man, because they could have kept driving, kept going, and mind their own business, but they decided that to help that gentleman and save his life. So shout out to those brothers. My other shout out is really more of a commemorative piece, but it's a picture of 4 gentlemen who I think we all know very well. Kobe Bryant, Kobe Bryant. Let me get back to my picture. I thought you put it up, Louis.
You didn't send me that one. I didn't get that.
Yes, I did. I sent you 2.
You did? It must didn't come through.
Oh, well, anyway, it's a commemorative picture. It's Malcolm Jamal Warner, Chadwick Boseman, Kobe Bryant, and Nipsey Hussle. And they may be gone, but they'll never be forgotten because I think each one of these gentlemen made a tremendous mark. If you really look at their own time, Malcolm Jamal with one of the shows that everybody felt like was kind of like what the dream household was supposed to be with the Cosbys. Kobe Bryant and the impact he had on the NBA and sports. Chadwick, just what he brought to the camera and the screen, on screen with his performances. Most notable, Black Panther. There's another one, 21 Bridges, too, that a lot of people may not realize. I think that he was in. It was a really good one. And then Nipsey Hussle, what he brought to music. And not only music, just kind of in his own way, trying to unite and bring the Crips and Bloods together in California. So Shout out to them brothers, man. They might be gone, but not forgotten. All right. So let's get back into this thing. What are the biggest secrets people keep in relationships, man? Cheryl alluded to one of getting somebody pregnant, and then they came back with another really, really good one, which is finances. People tend to kind of hide finance, especially if you're dating and you maybe not have gotten married or engaged, anything like that. You kind of trying to keep your finances a secret, or what your personal finances. But I do think that in marriages, when it comes to marriage, that there should be no secrets when it comes to finance. And we've kind of had this conversation, at least alluded to it, maybe a week or so ago, or 2 weeks ago, when we were talking about having multiple or separate bank accounts. If you're married and the wife having her own account, he having his own account, and she paid that bill, and he paid this and that bill, and I just never really understood that. We've always had the same account, and all the money went in one account and is paid out. Not to say that y'all can't have multiple accounts together, but have them separately. And I think that's kind of one of the bigger issues too. But people hide the truth in relationships for fear, shame, and protection, and it often drives secrecy. And the number one thing is infidelity. I can't hit them slides, Lavelle. You might hit them.
I'll go to that. Where you want to go? We on the number 2 or 3?
The next slide.
Okay.
Yeah. So infidelity. Infidelity is number one. The emotional, physical aspects of infidelity. You get, people not only have physical affairs, but they also have emotional affairs. When you talk about the physical, you think about the most obvious one, but it's truly broader than just having sex. Because when you have that physical intimacy with somebody, you're sharing, even though people say, "Oh, it was just sex. It wasn't nothing to it." A lot of men say that, but we do know, like men, we're not as emotional in some instances as women, and women are emotional creatures. So when a woman cheats, is emotional for the most part. You do have some women out there that get it just like the men. That I just need to get off. Right. But you don't. It's not going to be a whole lot of women that that share themselves and not have any kind of emotional involvement in it. And then there are just the emotional affairs themselves, where there's a deep emotional intimacy. Maybe we talked about, like with Sharon, them just having kind of like that, starting off maybe at work and having that relationship where they're just sharing intimate details of what's going on at home, and then it turns into something else on the job. Mm-hmm. Good morning, Ms. Gwen. So that can be a factor as well. Then you have these online relationships, man, where through social media has caused a lot of people to stumble and fall with them DMs, getting in them DMs. And once you get into the DM, you're starting to share, or you're starting to and one of the things about it too, I think, if you entertain it, if you don't entertain it, then the person will probably keep on. But if you speak back, just say, "Hey, well, how you doing?" You opening that door. Mm-hmm. So it's best, like, if you in a relationship already and somebody's DMing you on through social media platforms or whatever, it's best to just kind of ignore it, or some people just don't even cut that part of their platform on, or just don't even entertain messages and stuff through those different platforms. Mm-hmm. So you have to think about that as well. Next slide. Yes, sir. True feelings about the relationship. Many people hide how they really feel, doubts about staying together, feeling bored, disconnected, or unfulfilled. You know, you got people that just stay in relationships simply because the kids. You know, I remember way back when Miss P was married. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. But you got people that stay in relationships just for the kids, and then you got some people that say, "F them kids." I want to be happy too, and I'm not gonna stick around in this relationship just because of some kids.
Right.
You know, I think.
What do you say?
I think at some point. Oh my God. I think at some point you just have to find, especially as it relates to the kids, you guys have to find kind of like your happy space and figure out how to co-parent together, you know, for the kids instead of you know, because of the kids, but you know, you need to try to find the happy place. Also for religious conviction. Once married, stay married. Yeah. People like maybe people do that too. I know some religions do, you know, say, hey, you know, you marry, you stay together to death do you part, you know. And so that could be one of those things too. Staying out of fear, staying out of comfort, you know, or fear, you know, because maybe you're not the breadwinner and the other person is the breadwinner and bringing, you know, the finances in, or like I said, the children. This secret can last years and slowly erode intimacy. So we already know that if you stand for any of those reasons, you ain't even being intimate in a relationship or in a marriage. If you stand because of the kids or because you just trying to, you know, the finances, or comfort, or fear, it ain't no intimacy anyway. That all that then flew out the window. You just trying to survive and exist. And we talk about this too. Well, you know, grandmama and granddad them stayed in separate rooms and separate beds.
Yep.
You know, because you know, granddad worked, grandmama stayed at home. Grandmama probably didn't have the luxury of just moving out and going to get her own spot and all that because she wasn't making no money. And so it's different times now. You don't have to sit. I know there are still situations now where people live in separate rooms, which is weird to me in a marriage. You sticking around. Well, we just been together so long, but we ain't intimate like that. So he got his room, I got my own room. It's gone from a relationship to a partnership. We just both bringing in money to pay the bills. It just coexisting in the same household.
Right.
Next slide. Then some financial truths. There's some hidden debt. You know, they hiding the debt that they didn't, you know, what's her name? What's the doctor name? The black lady we been talking about, Simone. Was having a conversation with her son about you know, the finances and going off to law school. He wanted to go to law school. He's about to graduate and go to law school. And he want his mama to just pay for everything. And she's like, wait a minute, let's talk about this credit card that last year alone, you swiped up to $60,000 on the credit card.
Damn.
I'm talking about just doing his thing, just shopping and doing whatever he wanted to do. Swipe $60,000. And she said, only thing I really have to do for you is provide, you know, a roof over your head.
Right.
She said, you need to figure out that. So sometimes, you know, and I'm not gonna say he was hiding the depth of the spending because she can actually see it, you know, especially for her to know he spent $60K. Shit. But in some relationships, that's what happens. The women get these credit cards and they go and run up all this debt because they trying to shop, keep up with the girls and keep up with the Joneses. And guys don't generally tend to do that. Not too quick, where they'll charge up and run up debt trying to keep up with somebody. Now, we might run up some debt, putting some money into some cars, putting some 24 inches on a Cadillac, some 30 inches, some 30 inches on a Malibu.
Mm.
We'll do some crap like that. And another thing, gambling. You know, those are huge secrets until it's not anymore. Because once the creditors start calling because you out there gambling, you can't pay the bills, or they come to repo the cars, or putting a sign in your yard telling you got to get out your house. That's and then that's when it comes to light that you have a gambling issue. That you running down I'm gonna tell you a clear sign that you know somebody gambling. If they have a rewards card from every casino. I'm telling you, if you got a rewards card from every casino, you got a gambling problem.
You think so?
If you and you got rewards on all of them, man, they ain't going no eating with no they gambling.
Well, I mean, it may not necessarily be a problem. You got some people who that's their pastime. My granddaddy, and my grandmama. I mean, it was like his other type of like a part-time job. He went to the when they was actually at the dog track. He went to the dog track every Wednesday and Friday. Like
but you don't call that gambling? You don't call that like an addiction?
But I'm just saying it wasn't a secret.
No, I said some people. Nah, I ain't. Some people go and they go. They tell you they go.
Yeah, sometimes some people it's just a hobby. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if they got the reward, I don't necessarily mean they like they hiding it. That's what I mean.
No. I'm just saying if you know they got a lot of rewards cards, but they not telling you they going to the casino. That's how you know.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah, we talking about they hiding the gambling, but they got rewards cards. You ain't never seen them go to the casino, but you see all these rewards cards coming from Harrah's and Golden, whoever, Yeah. Phyllis said, Miss Gwen said, it's often more transactional now than oneness, more concern for physical benefits instead of the commitments. Yep. Phyllis said, good morning. You assume that every relationship is based on true love and building a life. Some people get married for different reasons. Absolutely. We ain't just talking about marriages, period. We talking about relationships. We reference marriages, but we're talking relationships. When you're in relationships, we're talking about the secrets that people hide or keep in relationships, not necessarily marriages. And all of these things are applicable in either just a relationship, a dating relationship, or marriage. Because people hide they bad habits when they're dating because they don't want the mate to know they have these bad habits, whether it's gambling or they just have a lot of debt or that they have poor credit. Side chick. She said side chicks. Woke up out of sleep to my side chick.
Who is it?
50.
Oh.
Side chicks.
But you know what? It's almost like a it was always a thing that was talked about. They had songs, I Be the Other Woman and all this type of thing. But like now it's like a badge of honor to be a side piece almost now. Like, it's a thing.
Yeah. I didn't realize that until I started seeing a lot of these podcast shows, especially ones like Tonight Conversation, where people would get up to the mic and literally say, "He do for me more than he do for his woman or his wife or this." And I'm like, and then kidding them saying, "You wearing that badge like it's an honor or something."
Yeah, it's a thing.
And most of them do. They think because I've been with my side dude 12 years. And he ain't committed to you yet. He's still with the other lady. I saw what's her name? Ali. I saw a video with I can't think of her first name, Ali. But she said, shit, you might as well. She said, why don't you just go on and meet the other woman? Just tell them, say, go on, introduce me to her.
Right.
I might as well know her. I've been sharing you with her for 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. I might as well meet her and have a relationship with her.
Right.
And the lady said, well, why do that? She said, well, why not? So you gonna know he got the relationship and you gonna continue. Hell, I might well meet her. If I'm gonna share him, now
Right.
he don't got to sneak around.
Yep.
Boy, I said, woo-wee. Back in the dog track day, man, them dog, my stepdad, boy, that boy, he with that trifecta, boy. Well, he used to be hidden sometime though.
Yeah, man, them folks brought some money home back in the day.
Southland, boy, them dogs, boy. But back in the dog track days, people used to keep their gambling secret by sending their numbers to the track by someone the neighborhood who ran numbers for. Yeah.
I remember my granddaddy when I was of age and could understand it. I thought my granddaddy like was power owner of the dog track. He went so much. I was like, damn, dude, you going for real? I like, bro.
And then, some people just really have different values too, Lavelle, just around money. Security versus indulgence. Some people indulge, some people like, you know what, I need to kind of keep my money, so I'm secure. And some people just indulge a lot. So you tend to hide the money because you feel like that money is tied to your worth or your power and your safety. And so that could be a secret that you just hide money for that. Then you got women hide money, man, when they, for their getaway, what that lady called it? Her rainy, no, she didn't call it her rainy day fund. She called it her getaway in case it don't work out for her or something.
Oh yeah, he would keep
So that means,
money. Yeah.
So that means you going into the relationship already, or a marriage or a relationship already thinking that it ain't gonna last.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
To me, you going in with a backwards mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Phyllis said, if you're dating a man that comes from a family that knows how to cook, it's best that you let him know you can't boil water. Not a good secret to keep.
Wow.
I think at some point he probably gonna figure it out, Phyllis. Because if he come over every time he come over your house to eat, you got some takeout. He probably gonna figure it out in a minute. But Gwen said side pieces wearing it as a badge of honor and justifying their mess be saying they meeting the need of the cheater.
I guess.
Hey, I'm telling you, if you listen to them, they be sounding crazy, cray.
Mm-hmm.
They be sounding so crazy. They be like, you think that's cool? And they don't see nothing wrong with it. Nothing. I've been dating a married man for the last 7 years, and he buys me everything, take care of my household. They wear it like faithfully, like it's cool.
But back in the day, it was kind of one of those things that was kind of understood for some people. Like, you knew, that JW had Shirley at home and Brenda around the corner.
Why you had to use them old folk names?
You gotta use old names. You can't.
He said JW, Shirley, and Brenda. What about Loretta? What about Loretta, man? Wait a minute. Paulette. What about Paulette?
Hey, nope. I won't ever do that. That ain't none of my business.
Go to the next line. Somebody said JW, Shirley, and Brenda. Hey, but I'm gonna tell you some funny stuff, bro. If you ever go and sit with a older woman, like this old, like elderly, and you just ask them up, just get a conversation, start asking them about certain people back in the neighborhood and the church.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, boy, they tell you all the juicy stories. Yep. All the juicy stories. I used to love to go sit with elderly people because they're gonna tell you all the stories. I learned out quite a bit growing up. I learned quite a bit from sitting over there around my grandmama and Miss Leo with them.
I mean, I understand it because I'm a recipient of it. That's how my mama and daddy was. So he had my grandmama around the corner, and he had my other folks mama around the corner. So
Wow.
that's why I got so many uncles and aunties on my mama's side.
Mm.
All of them cool now,
But
though.
sometimes people, yeah, sometimes people keep past experiences in keep that a secret because of the previous relationship or either the person that they was dating. You know, that person might have been considered, oh, man, you dated her, you dated Shirley. Shirley been around the block with everybody. You dated Shirley. I don't know if I should be messing with you. So they try to keep those past relationships a secret, or the trauma, abuse, or addiction that they experienced in past, through past experiences.
Mm-hmm.
That abuse and addiction. We don't even want to get into the trauma. The trauma is a whole nother thing, but abuse and addiction.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you come to an era of the 80s and 90s where it was so many people addicted to crack and cocaine,
Yeah, crack did a job on
that was the epidemic. You know what I'm saying? That lasted through the early 2000s, big time, like that. That's why you got so many crack. That's why I think half these folk crazy, all these crack babies.
I've been saying it for the longest. Actually, the first person who kind of enlightened me on it, and I ain't think about it, was somebody that we went to church with. He was like, "Man, they crazy because their mama was on crack." I was like, "Damn, you telling the truth?"
Yeah, all these crack babies, and y'all want to know why they acting a fool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the mama on crack, the daddy on crack, and they doing everything under sun. Yeah. Crackhead. Phyllis, Miss Gwen said Phyllis best to let them know you're not domesticated at all, not good at cooking, cleaning, hygiene. Now if they can't cook or clean, Miss Gwen, they need to at least be good at hygiene. And if every time I come around you smelling like scrimps.
Not scrimps.
Yeah, scrimps, baby. When they tell you, when you smelling like scrimps, you smelling like scrimps, and it's fishy every time I come around you. Something ain't right. Your pH balance is off.
Captain deeply.
Smelling like Long John Silver every time I walk in the room. Man, no.
Oh wow.
Miss Gwen said elderly and young children, them babies tell everything at school.
Oh yeah.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine going like just maybe working at an elderly facility? The stories you can hear.
Oh yeah.
Boy.
Yep.
Man, they'll probably tell you some everything. But then there's like the fear of just judgment or rejection. So I may just keep that from you, that I'm one of those people that I'm always, in fear of being judged by somebody or rejected by somebody. And so I might keep that as a secret, criminal. What about the criminal or legal issues in your past?
Interesting.
I shared a few days ago the story of the young man who had bought the engagement ring for the young lady, and then she found out that he was running to the after they got engaged. She found what you call it, where he donated semen bank, and a letter came to the house, and she opened it up, and it was talking about him donating his semen to the semen bank, and he had been doing it. He had did it for like a couple years, was doing it every week. He was getting a $400 a week, and that's how he paid for her ring. And she, because he well, I'm telling you, he would get $400 a week. He was going twice, sometimes 3 times a week. He was getting an average of $400 a week on the side to pay for that ring. And the woman said because he was keeping that as a secret for him, because he gonna have a whole bunch of babies. She said, nah, the judge was like, well, nah, that's kind of, the whole thing is you helping people that can't have babies or whatever. You donate. That stuff is confidential. He said, yeah, but the idea of him having a whole bunch of kids is right.
That's crazy.
Man, that girl broke that engagement out with him. And she asked her, she said, so if y'all had got married and then you found out later he did this, you would have broke off the wedding? I mean, got a divorce? She said, yep, absolutely. She said, oh. She looked at that man and said, be thankful she broke it off with you. She said, be thankful she broke it off with you because she said it sounded like any sign of anything, she running to the hill. So you saved yourself, you died something on that one. Next slide, sir.
I can't. Never mind. I'm not gonna go there.
Sexual desires, dissatisfaction. Every time I think about it, I think about Queen. Cause Queen would always mention or her conversations, even when she's clocking her teeth sometimes, and when it involves, maybe sexual dissatisfaction or something, she always kind of brings that up, about how, well, why he couldn't just tell her that he couldn't get it up, or why she had to tell him he wasn't satisfied, why he, but that ain't something like that's not an easy conversation. I remember early on when I told you, Lavelle, I didn't want to have those kind of conversations on the podcast. And you said, Tony, why not?
Mm-hmm.
You was like, these are the conversations people need to hear because they're not talking about them, and they need to hear that it's okay to talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
And so when you have these, some people have like unshared fantasies. If you got to make shit, maybe share the fantasy with him or her. She might make it come to fruition. She might be your sexy housemaid. He might be the criminal that creep through the window while you laying in bed with your silky pajamas on. Hey, you gotta share them fantasies. It's crazy.
Okay.
The lack of desire, now I do understand.
No.
Sometimes women go through these issues.
No. she wasn't ready.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. But I do understand that sometimes women go through this thing with their bodies where, they just don't be wanting to.
Mm-hmm.
And, and it might not necessarily just be the lack of desire. It just might be their body is going through some stuff. And hell, I'm just not in the, it ain't that I lack. I really wouldn't mind it, but my body just saying no.
Yep.
And so for a lot of men, that's hard to even comprehend because we just want it when we want it.
Yeah.
And so sometimes men use that to go and cheat. Well, you wasn't getting it to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go get it from somewhere. Then sometimes there's this sexual incompatibility.
Right.
You want a 12 and he only got 6.
Mm.
You want her one that's tight and hers like a ocean with no bottom.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm just saying.
Oh, wow.
It just ain't working out. You're sexually incompatible.
Mm-hmm.
He has a high drive. She got a low drive. She got the high drive. He got the low drive.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Gwen said, I was just getting ready to say fear of judgment or rejection keep people from sharing poor decisions or situations from their past. I remember an instance of someone keeping a secret of a bankruptcy in their past, even though they rebounded and something with their relationship. Let me see.
The will in their relationship.
and did well in the relationship. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Miss Gwen, did you ever talk to the did you ever talk to the dude that you met at the game? I'm being petty.
Yeah, you really being petty now. Bag about
No,
Miss Gwen.
I'm just we
But
talking about
many
relationship.
people don't be petty, Lavelle.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Many people choose silence over risking embarrassment or hurting their partner. So when you start to look at it, I just rather be silent about it than maybe having this embarrassing moment of my ED kicking in, you know,
Mhm.
whatever. You know what I'm saying? That could be an embarrassing situation. And we know, especially with men, we ain't gonna be too quick and vulnerable and transparent to share stuff like that.
Mhm.
Because we know that some women will use that as a get back.
Right.
And, everybody knows. That's why you can't get it up. Cheryl already told me you can't get it up. What?
Hmm.
So that's just not cool. So we won't really share it that quick.
She said she did not talk to him.
Next slide. Yeah, I see. You could have talked to that man, Ms. Gwen. On next slide. Okay, addictions and compulsive behavior. We talked about just having, being addicted to drugs and just maybe not sharing that, or some people just be addicted to pain medicine,
Food?
because they've been in pain for certain things and they've started to take. That's the reason I don't take certain habituals. I don't take them
Mhm.
because every time I had surgeries and stuff like that, like my arms, my shoulder surgeries and stuff like, they would give me these. I wouldn't take them because they would make me feel like so loopy headed, like I was just out of my mind. You
Mhm.
take one pill and you feel like you out your mind. And I'm like, nah, I can't do it. Then you got people that's addicted to porn and gambling. We talked about the gambling already, but we ain't talked about the porn.
Mhm.
That's an addiction as well. You got to watch porn every day, all day.
Every day, all day.
That's an addiction. They
That
all
must,
that work on their break on the porn site.
that must be the dude that was donating the sperm then.
Nah, he was just trying to get the money because the woman that she came from a really good family, and she came from a family that maybe her dad or mom had a little money. And so I think he was more so, and then she kind of like, again, she kind of led him a lot, like when she had friends or whatever, they got engaged and they showed their wedding ring. If she liked the wedding ring, she would say, now that was nice. But if she didn't like it, she'd be like, ooh, he bought her that little old ring. So she was setting him up and telling him in so many words, like what she like and don't like. And so with that, he was like, I gotta come with it. So he bought an $18,000 ring. And so he had to make a lot of trips to the bank so he could buy that $18,000 ring. And not only that, he still had to maintain his lifestyle. See, Lavelle, he still had to take her out to dinner, take her out places and hang out. So he had to do that, or he wouldn't have been able to afford the ring. And he said, I wouldn't have been able to afford the ring. And he said, I do. He worked in tech. He's like, I make good money, but I wanted her. She loves stuff, and I want her to have stuff.
She should have respected that man's stroke game then, man. Damn.
No, but she felt like that he was deceiving her because he never taught. Was So my thing was then was, so would it have been different if he had told you up front, hey, I'm going to sperm bank, make this money do, or what would you have said then?
Right.
Would she have said, well, it's okay that you don't buy me an $18,000 ring?
Mhm.
Or was he truly saying, I truly can't afford the $18,000 ring? And she might say, oh, you can't afford the $18,000 ring, I don't need to be with you.
Right.
So either way, that you know, she felt like he was just keeping the secrets. Miss Gwen said silence is easier than being vulnerable.
Yeah.
She meant silence, secrecy. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, you know, and some people just not saying nothing, and a lot of people just saying not saying nothing is not like I'm being secretive. I'm just not saying nothing. But truly, ain't that what being secret is?
Yeah.
Not saying it. So you know, it's the same thing. When you're moving in silence, you're being secretive. Next slide. Then you got the, you know, resentments and the unspoken anger. Some people are just feeling unappreciated, appreciated. You got unresolved hurt. Maybe he or she has done something in the relationship before and that hurt you, and it just really went unresolved, even though you told him or her that I'm good, you know, or there's that scorekeeping. You know, every time a person did something, you done kind of jotted it down in the book. They did it, and then now, as soon as you mad, you bring up everything they done did. You like, damn, you keeping tabs? You score, keeping score, and a lot of people do that.
Yep.
They do that secretly. They silent, keep the scores. They have this unresolved hurt, and then some people just feel unappreciated in the relationship, and they'll go through that relationship for as long as they can, feeling that way until they can't.
Yeah.
And not all secrets are just really dramatic, you know. So when you started feeling like the feeling unappreciated, that's not a real dramatic type of secret. You just kind of feeling unappreciated, and you just are not conversating or having conversations around how you feeling. And even when you think about that old hurt, where even though you say you forgave the person, you still never really healed from it.
Right.
And then, you know, when you start looking at quiet scorekeeping, these often do more long-term damage than the explosive fights. Because how long have you been keeping these tabs? See, if we have a big blowout, drag out fight, it's out in the open. We had to fight. We said we need to say, okay, now we done got we back. We made up. We back at. But when you ain't having them big explosive fights, but you just scorekeeping silently, yeah, it could do more damage long term. Because when it finally does come out, you're gonna like, oh, okay, so this is how you been feeling, huh? What else have you been feeling?
Right.
Start to open the door for other stuff. And then you got the next slide, identity related truths.
Yeah.
Where you have changing beliefs. You're outgrowing the relationship. There's some fear of disruption in the relationship. Sometimes there's some suppressed sexuality or gender identity. You know, some people go through this I don't even want to call it a season in their life. I want to call it a confusion, some confusion in your life. I saw a post earlier today of a young lady. She posted 2 pictures. She posted a picture when she was a little younger, where she had her hair, and her hair was kind of cute, but it was almost kind of like a man's hairdo, is what I'm saying. And the way she was dressed, she was kind of dressed tomboyish, like a boy. And then on the other picture, it was the really nice hairdo with the the baby hair. They got the baby hair out, and she got the nails painted, and she looking girly. And she said in the post, she said, I posted this because I look back on my past, and I didn't recognize that person, who that person was. She said, I realized I was going through an era of my life where I was I forgot the word she used, but it was kind of like, I wasn't really sure of what I really wanted or needed, and kind of went through this era. And then then she said, I kind of thank God that you know, and not that I have any regrets of that, but at least that helped me get to the point where I am now, and I'm happy with my life,
Mhm.
And so you have those suppressed sexuality or gender identity crisis going on, where you fight and you're trying to really figure out who you are. Like, am I really this person that am I this man that like other men? Am I this woman that like other women? Am I whatever, and then you kind of move past it. Ms. Gwen said it's the motive behind it. Sometimes it can be out of fear of vulnerability as in abusive situations, and others can be just it could be just to be deceitful or selfish motives. Yep. And then sometimes you can just outgrow the relationship. You're growing, you're changing, you're moving, you're being better, and then the other person is kind of like staying stagnant, not growing, just not does not take like the personal growth thing personal, and it just kind of staying status quo. And then that kind of can get boring, or you just feel like, hey, we moving in two different directions, and you start to outgrow the relationship, and that's okay. It's time to move on. And then that's that fear of disruption, where you're feeling like you've outgrown the relationship. The secrets are kept out of fear of just kind of blowing everything up. So you don't want that kind of disruption in your life, and so you kind of deal with it, or you just move a little bit more silently, or move a different direction to move eventually out of that relationship. But the deeper truth is this, man. Most relationship secrets share one root.
Mm-hmm.
If you knew this about me, you might leave.
Right.
But my thing is, the stuff that you hide from me that I don't know could be that one thing that changed the whole dynamic of our relationship for the better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because that one thing that you never told me, that secret that I'm feeling, and I'm starting to harbor some resentment or whatever on the inside. If you had just told me, because I'm feeling like something, but you never really told me. If you had told me, oh, well, that makes all the sense in the world. And now we can talk about it and we can move forth in a relationship. But it's when you don't tell me, and I just gotta go trying to guess and figure out in my head maybe what's going on, and start to harbor all these resentments and other things, and it just tears the relationship up. So people keep secrets to protect the relationship as it is, even if that means sacrificing honesty, intimacy, or long-term health.
How much of these habits are? Because sometimes some of it is what it is, but how much this stuff that you think that certain individuals just picked up maybe from their parents, maybe either knowingly or unknowingly,
I mean, it could be, some things, as children, we observe, we watch, we look, and I tell people all the time, man, kids are way smarter than we give them credit for. Because you look at these little babies, they pick up on so much of what we do so quick, and a lot of their identities as young babies and young kids is what they've gotten from us or what they've seen from us and other people.
Mhm.
So it could very well, if you're in a relationship where your relationship, you guys are harboring and keeping secrets and this distance, and the kids observe that too, and then they can start in their relationships the same way and doing the same thing in their relationship.
And so the reason why
And now
I brought that up is because I think, especially in this day and time, I think certain conversations need to start happening earlier with your children, more so than how it used to be. They just put this for an example, like the Caucasian people, our counterpart people. they start teaching their children, man, how to shoot guns, man. It's as soon as they can hold them to protect them, quote unquote, their family or whatever the case may be. But we won't even sure it's something that's vital is how your life gonna be growing up. But they gonna get them folks a gun at 7 years old.
It is to me again. That's kind of how you were brought up, how you were raised, or what And some people might not even was never introduced to that and never understood that. So and there are black people that teach their kids. There's one gentleman in particular that's been doing it since his kids were young. He teach them, but he don't teach them about guns. He teach them about life itself. He teach them about Black history. He teaches them about how to survive. He teaches them, how to fire. Man, his daughter can break down a gun with a blindfold on and put it back together.
Wow!
All while reciting something important to them. I am a Black woman. I am this and I am that. We're putting that gun together. This is how he teaches them, and he's been doing it forever. I've been watching this dude, and he's forever doing it.
Yeah, I just think about a lot of the stuff that we harbor and hold. A lot of stuff we don't even know that it could have happened in our childhood, just unknowingly, unconsciously, and we wouldn't even know that we've experienced that trauma. Especially when you talk about the absence thereof, when you talk about the absence there of not having a relationship with your mother and your father and stuff like this. So, yeah,
right, yeah. Well, I mean, it most certainly happens. Ms. Gwen said, "Wow, if you knew about me, you might leave. Imagine the weight of living a lie or a life of secrets." That's what I'm talking about right there. That's the weight of it, Miss P. When you start looking at all the stuff you're carrying around, the weight you're carrying around, living that life or being in secret, I just that's too much for me. She said, if people have lived pretty insulated, what the children see is what they repeat as adults because it's normal to them, because that's all they know. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. Well, hopefully you guys, you guys got something out of that today. It was. So I think if I had to take something away from it, it's better to just kind of go ahead on and share and communicate and have these conversations, so you don't have these secrets. I just thinks when you start to have secrets or living silently or moving silently, it creates relationship tension and bigger issues in the relationship, leading to bigger gaps, which ultimately leads to I guess the dismantling of your relationship. So thank y'all again, man, for being Ms. Gwen, as always, being very attentive and being so interactive with us. Again, y'all know it's 10 o'clock at night over here, and this we're at, what's this, Tuesday night? What y'all, Tuesday morning?
Yeah, Tuesday morning.
Okay.
No, Wednesday morning. We Wednesday morning.
So we Wednesday night.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, I'm so throw it off.
I was almost throw it off right with you.
Yeah. So it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday night here, and it's Wednesday morning there. So I'm a little throw it off.
Yeah.
I've been throwing it off since we've been here. I just know when it's we're 13 hours ahead of you guys. So
yeah.
And
I want to give a shout out on the tail end, since we almost at the end of the year, bro. I just kind of like was doing some thought. It's 261 days outside of the weekend, and we do this podcast 5 times a week rather. That's 1,305 times that we have this podcast. So that's a lot of content that we put out every morning from 8 to 9. Sure, a lot of deep stuff, get into a lot of
Sometimes it's
things.
repeated. Sometimes we had to repeat what we even already talked about because it's relevant again. You know.
Right. But I was just saying, man, there's a lot of content. Thank you for your passion and your dedication that you have for this. Uh, you know what I went through earlier part of this year where it was kind of trying for me, and you stood in the gap with me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, da 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 da, whatever you said, and here it is, man. We almost to the end of the year and get ready to start this all over again.
For year 2.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
Year
we'll
3.
be finishing up year 2 in March.
Right. So
The end of March. Yeah.
yeah, so hopefully, man, we'll be ready to launch something off of 2 Minute Hats soon.
Yeah.
If she ain't bagged out of it, that's what called Don't Do Too Much podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's coming. It's coming.
What's going on, Mr. Horner? But hey, man, I just I really appreciate it, the dedication and what I'm saying, all the content stuff that has helped me through certain situations that I'm going through, and it's just amazing, bro, what we have
Yeah.
accomplished, and being able to do the tent drive, that was powerful. Just having an overlook of what I'm saying, how powerful this situation has been, man, on the tail end of this.
And I'm telling you know what the crazy part is too, man. I'm seeing so much stuff spin off from what we're doing from with other organizations and other people seeing the stuff, and I'm seeing spin-offs of the stuff that we've did that I haven't seen before. So people might not necessarily give us credit, but I'm seeing spin-offs to stuff we did by other people.
Oh man, I mean, like I say, I've walked into spots and places, got phone calls, like I didn't even realize that Miss Shorter that comes on, she came to the church a couple of Sundays back. You know what I'm saying? She was like, she was telling her daughter, that's the man with 2 million hats right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's most definitely has been a blessing, and we appreciate all you guys. We got some dedicated, dedicated family. That's what we want to call y'all, man. Miss Powell, Miss Bartlett, who else? Mayor Mac. We got some ones.
Rodney.
Rodney, Andrea,
Clarence,
we don't want
Cheryl.
to call a whole lot of names, but it's a lot to get up in the morning sometimes for me, because depending on what's out on.
I gotta call one name though, cause he be pubbing us, man. Lil Zoe from Kokomo.
Oh yeah, Zodoc. Yeah, Clarence, them, man. We're excited about the upcoming year for them. They get ready to get married in March.
Yeah.
So man, I'm just thankful, bro, what we have accomplished, man, with 2 Minute Hats. So
appreciate it, brother. Come on, pray us out.
I think it's time for you to pray. I don't get emotional now.
Let us pray. God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for just another opportunity just to be able to share with our viewers and listeners. Oh God, we pray now for all of those who are listening from wherever they're listening from. Oh God, we pray their strength. We pray that you will grant them their heart's desire, oh God, whatever they stand in the need of. Oh God, we pray now for all of those who are duty bound to pray for those who are sick, those who are shut in, those who are convalescent homes, those who are behind prayers and walls, and those that don't know you and the pardon of their own sins. Oh God, we pray for Lavelle and his family, Queen and her family, and continue to watch over my family and bless us in a special way, oh God. We thank you. We love you. It's in Jesus' name that we pray and ask all of these things. Thank God and amen.
Amen.
All right, we will see you guys tomorrow morning. Well, it'll be tomorrow night for me. Same bad time.
Same bad place.
And also, now, so let me go ahead and put this disclaimer out there.
Wow.
We're traveling to Phuket, Thailand in the morning. So I don't know what the Wi-Fi gonna be like over there. So I'm going ahead and I'm gonna say that right now. I'm gonna have to test it as soon as we get there tomorrow. I'm gonna have to test it and see. But we on the same time zone as here, so but we'll be in Thailand tomorrow and we'll be there for 5 days. So I don't know what the Wi-Fi, so I'm just throwing that disclaimer out there right now. But if all goes well, we'll see you guys tomorrow, the same bad time.
Same bad place. How far is it from where you are now?
It's at least a 5-hour flight. So
Y'all got to fly again?
Oh yeah. We gotta take a flight.
Gee whiz.
We got to fly from here to Bangkok, Thailand, from Bangkok to Phuket.
Bless y'all heart and all y'all body parts.
Yeah, and then we got to fly back to Vietnam to spend Christmas here.
Wow. Man, hey.
Yeah.
It's y'all thing. Do what y'all want to do. I can't tell y'all who to suck it to.
All right, man. Well, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad place, man. 2 men in hats.
Let's
Let's
talk
talk
about it.
about it.
The 2 minute hat